Hey guys, it's Ryan Fowler with another episode of Inner Masculine Live. We're making changes, new camera angle, live from Mexico City. So we have a great show today. We are going to analyze the mindset of ultra wealthy people with respect to failure. And I have two good video clips. These are both 9-figure net worth people. One is close to $500 million net worth, and they're going to still on the tail end of a cold. My apologies. And let me know what you think about the new camera angle. I might lower it just a little, but you don't see my laptop anymore, so that's cool. So next thing to improve is thumbnails. I'm going to start putting on like nicer looking thumbnails. So it's all good. So we're going to analyze these two ultra wealthy people. One lady worth over 100 million by age 29. That's the second one. And not only are we going to talk about the relationship they have with failure, the mindset that they have, but we're also going to talk about how you get it in you, how you can adopt this same mindset too. And then I have a really good client interview. It's a clip. It's a client right after his hypnosis session. And I just interview him about the immediate change he had. And, you know, I was in contact with this guy over a year later. I did something, a technique that I used in hypnosis, gave him a golden shield. I'll explain that later. And over a year later, he explained, I still got that golden shield, man. So permanent benefits, just one session. You're going to see that clip. I have lots and lots of client interviews. I have several more I'm still going to put up. There's 7 on my YouTube channel, but I also interviewed Jordan Kurtz on my live show. That was the last show. And so we got a lot more just showing that this stuff works. And really what I do, I'm not a licensed psychotherapist or psychiatrist. So, you know, I don't treat your schizoaffective disorder. I don't treat like manic depression or anything like that. But what I do is I get in your core self-belief. You believe in yourself. You believe in your value. You give yourself all the approval you need. You know you have massive value just for who you are. You don't need to do or say anything to have that value. You just have it. It's really just unconditional self-love, self-acceptance, belief that, hey, maybe I'm not where I want to be right now, but you know what? The more I do anything, the better I get at it until I have enough skill to get what I want. So what I do is I get that in your core where you really believe it. And I help you let go of any bad programs in you. Excuse me. Just on the very tail end of this cold right now. Okay, cough averted. So, I help you let go of anything in you, any bad subconscious programs that don't serve you. And one of the biggest programs I help people let go of is fear of failure. And it's not fear of failure, anxiety. That is tied to your fight or flight response. It's flight. You don't want to do things. You procrastinate. You don't do things you're afraid of. You see that attractive girl, you don't approach her. Well, why? Well, because if things go wrong, you're going to feel like crap. That's why you have fear. That's why you have anxiety about certain things. Now, other things you have fear because it's a safety issue, but we're talking about, hey, you're just embarrassed because that girl rejected you. Hey, you feel bad because you didn't approach her. You feel like a coward or loser. You try something, you take a risk, you fail, you feel terrible. So what happens is your brain says, okay, here's a situation where if this goes wrong, I'm going to feel pain. It's going to suck. And guess what? Your brain, the number one program your brain has, the strongest behavioral modifier it gives you to influence your behavior is avoid pain. That includes emotional pain. This is why people procrastinate, because they're like, if it doesn't turn out right, or maybe you feel bad for not doing it, you're going to feel pain. Your brain sees the potential for pain, gives you anxiety, resistance, makes you not want to do it. That's why you're stuck. That's why you don't want to take risks that could lead to failure, could lead to, and not everyone has this program, but a lot of people do. A lot of people do who come to me. So they're wondering why, why don't I take risks? Why is it so hard? Why do I have so much anxiety to move forward? Why do I start doing things and then self-sabotage? It's all tied to your brain sees potential for pain. That is because of how your subconscious views failure. It views it as, oh, because I failed, it means I'm not good enough. Well, guess what? The ultra wealthy list a key component, if not the number one component, very close, but probably the number one component to their success, just besides aiming big and working their butt off, you know, planning all that. But the number one component is their relationship with failure, how they view failure, not just consciously, but subconsciously. Again, our subconscious has to do with what we feel deep down, what we believe deep down. I'm sure many of you guys have noticed that you might think one thing up here. You may think, oh, hey, if I approach that attractive woman, or if I try this thing and it doesn't work out, it's okay. You may logically understand that, and yet you still have anxiety, you still have fear. That's your subconscious believing one thing and your conscious mind believing another. So we want to get your conscious mind aligned, and this is why I use the techniques I use to change what you feel deep down. Because yes, self-talk can help, and I teach people how to do self-talk the best way. You know, that's the reason my sessions are so long, is I teach you how to do self-hypnosis. I teach you proper self-talk. I do a thorough analysis, everything you struggle with, and find out what's really going on at your root. And then I do a hypnosis session where I work on 2, 3, 4 issues at once. Someone comes to me, I want to knock it out of the park. That's why I do it the way I do. I want the biggest benefit, permanent benefit, as much as I can give you that day. That's why my sessions are long. But a very, very big component of why people don't get ahead is deep down they have some pain, where if they fail, or if maybe again there's something they want to do and they feel bad for not doing it. Oh, I'm a loser because I didn't do it, I'm lazy. You know, that pain in you is tied to a subconscious program based on beliefs you form in your childhood. And when we get that out of you and replace it with a program that's not painful, a belief that has no painful emotion tied to it, such as, for example, one of the things I put in people is those who succeed the most first fail the most because they try the most and they try the hardest things. If I was never failing, it would mean I'm on the path of mediocrity. That's not the path for me. I'm on the path of greatness. And because things are hard, it's a sign I'm on the path of greatness. Therefore, failing is a sign I'm on the right path. For example, that's just one of several things I do. You know, the more you do, and this is all true. I'm going to show you today the mindsets of these people that are going to reflect that everything I put in people deep down, it's not only true and leads to big success. You know, within 2 years, my income doubled, and then it doubled again. You know, doing hypnosis on myself. It's happened for a lot of my clients. I'm not making any claim or guarantee it will happen to any particular person. It's just an observation that it's happened to a lot of clients. Their income went up. They started getting what they want. Why? Well, because they have a different relationship to failure now. They view failure differently, and they believe in themselves. And they believe, hey, just like Thomas Edison, he had to try 1,000 times to invent the light bulb. Well, guess what? It's not that I'm sure he was a very smart guy, but it's not his intelligence. That wasn't the number one thing that made him invent the light bulb and not others. It's that he kept failing and he kept trying and kept trying and kept trying until he succeeded. That's what the ultra wealthy do. They fail, they learn, they try. So they keep trying. They keep going until they succeed when others give up. That's why they have success. So you're going to see this. So I'm going to play this clip for you. This guy is Tom Bilyeu. He's worth over $400 million, 500, something like that. And he's going to tell you how he views looking stupid, falling down, messing up, failing, how he views it. And then we'll go on to another clip of another very wealthy individual. So here we go. Boom. So here's Tom Bilyeu. He's going to tell you his one superpower that made him very wealthy. Again, he's worth over 400 million, probably $500 million, somewhere around there. Here we go.
Into a new phase where you and I think, share a similar sense of like, okay, entrepreneurship was very good to me. It changed my life. It made me fantastically wealthy. And now I'm looking around going, hey, there's nothing that special about me. The thing that made me successful is I'm a relentless learner. So I'm just unafraid to embarrass myself, to fall down, to look stupid. And because of that, while other people are laughing at me, I'm laughing on the inside because I'm like, motherfucker, on a long enough timeline, I'm going to win because I'll learn and I'll figure this stuff out.
Okay, so here's the thing about these super successful people. Some people actually think that, oh, they're just smarter, they're just better, they just succeed more. No, he messes up all the time. But his point is, number one, he does it. He pulls the trigger. He doesn't care if he looks stupid and messes up. He's learning new things. When he's new at something, he's going to mess it up. He's a beginner, but he keeps learning. And even when others laugh at him, how does he feel deep down? He's laughing at them because he's like, guys, You guys aren't willing to take risk and fail. I am. So I'm learning each time. I'm winning in the long run. You guys are not. And he said he's not special besides that, but that's his superpower. That's what made him worth. He used to be a couch potato. He used to sit on the couch all day while his wife went to work. And then he had a big internal shift. His channel, Impact Theory University, or Impact Theory, is a channel, and he has an Impact Theory University. Great channel. Subscribe to it. A lot of mindset stuff on that channel. There's other stuff too. But he made that big internal change. Now he's worth $500 million. And he just told you the number one reason why. So we're going to go to another clip now. And here we go. This is going to be another lady, together with her husband, worth over $100 million by age 29. Took him somewhere between 5-7 years to go from 15,000 in the bank account, that was her entire net worth, to over 100 million together with her husband. And she's going to tell you, oh, let me pull this up. Now, this one's going to be a little more in depth. She's going to show you a path she got stuck on where she started to backtrack and stagnate. And then she talks about something very similar to what Tom Bilyeu was talking about. I'm showing you two to show you this isn't a fluke, that this is what these high net worth people think. There's a Dan Pena clip I show clients. I'll show another time. I did a session for someone very, very wealthy, 9-figure net worth. He had I asked him, how do you feel when he fell? Very similar response to what these people are saying. So it isn't a fluke. This is a key to massive success. So here we go. Layla Hormozi, 29 years old when she did this video. She's going to tell you how she started stagnating, how she changed it, got back on track, started kicking ass again. So here we go.
Here's what I realized that it gets to, and this is what a lot of entrepreneurs get to, is you productively procrastinate, which many would say this is doing small tasks. I think it's just not doing the hard tasks and making the hard decisions, right? And so what it means you do is you don't ever try, okay? And so what I mean by never trying is you will do things that you have proven to yourself you can already do, right? You stop attempting to do new things because you might have failed so many times because you were in attack mode that you kind of just back off and think like, maybe I just shouldn't be trying, right? Which is never the right way to look at it. Because you never try, you never risk failure, right? And so you never have that keep you up all night feeling like crap, you know, I just messed this up in front of everybody feeling. Because you never risk that, you also never fail, right? Which is good. We're not failing. I feel safe. I feel secure. Like I don't have to question my ego. Like nothing's threatening me, right? And then because of that, you never let yourself down, right? Except the big obvious one of all of this is that if you do this, you also never succeed. And that is what I realized I was doing to myself. And so what I was actually doing was that in the short term, I was keeping myself safe and not failing in the micro, right? But in the macro picture, I was never succeeding. So it's like,
okay, so how many of you just ask yourself whether you do this or not? Do you play it safe? Do you avoid taking risks and then you stagnate? Most people do this. I mean, I've done it to a point. I don't do it much now. I'm on the other path. But, you know, maybe sometimes, but not very often, honestly. This is why people stagnate. A lot of people live mediocre lives because they just play it safe. And they stay safe. They don't feel bad by failing and messing up, but they're doing stuff that's not challenging. That's a mediocre life. She's going to show you a better way if you really want to kick ass in life, if you really want to get ahead. And this isn't just what you do, but this is a mindset. And there are some internal changes that a lot of people need to make to really be comfortable with the mindset in the very next behavioral model that she's going to show you.
You're successful in keeping yourself safe, and you're also successful in keeping yourself miserable, right? And so that is when I realized that I really need to trade my productive procrastination for what I want to call productive failure. So what does that look like, right? What's productive?
Isn't it interesting that she calls it productive failure? We'll keep going.
Failure look like, and how do you know if you're doing it or not doing it? Okay, productive failure means you're going to try. So it's like you see something that needs to get done in the business, you see something that you would like to do, you see something that you aspire to, you try. Because you try, you do risk failure, right? And then I would say about 50% of the time, you are going to fail, right? The other 50% of the time, you just learn, right? And the thing is that you learn when you fail and you learn when you succeed. And so what that means is that once you try and you fail, you tweak and you try again.
And she said, you what when you fail, you what when you succeed, you learn. That's her mindset. I'm learning. What did Tom Bilyeu, that other gentleman, say? He said, I don't care if people are laughing at me because I'm learning in the long run. When I fall down, I look stupid. I'm learning in the long run. They're both saying the same thing, just in different ways, slightly different ways. Here we go.
And so this is what I would consider most people aren't doing if they're feeling like they're really burnt out. They're feeling like the wheels are spinning, but you're not getting anywhere. Is you're probably avoiding trying the things that are most likely to threaten your ego because you're most likely to fail at them. So anytime you're starting something new, anytime you as a...
Now this is actually tied for those who have a really hard time taking risks, real big fear of failure. This is tied to your subconscious, because what happens is our subconscious communicates to us through instinct, intuition, emotion. When you feel emotions, it's based on the beliefs in your subconscious, and your subconscious telling you, based on my subconscious programs, this is how I interpret what's going on. I'm happy about this. I'm excited about this. I feel terrible about this. I feel like a loser when this happens. I'm sad when this happens. That's all subconscious programs you learned in your childhood. It's either emotion. I mean, instinct is just straight instinct. Some stuff's hardwired in us, but really most things are based on the interpretations we drew as children when things happen to us, and there are feelings tied to those beliefs and interpretations. Once you're about between 8 and 14, your subconscious mind starts to harden. These beliefs become static, and then for most people, they stay with you the rest of your life. And so you probably notice a persistent pattern. If you're putting things off, maybe you're procrastinating, you don't even feel anxiety. You're just like, I don't want to do this. Let's play video games. Let's cover potential pain with pleasure. You won't even get to the anxiety point. But for people who have this fear of failure, they feel anxiety. They're like, oh no, I'm in a situation where if this goes wrong, I'm going to feel like crap. Or maybe they feel like crap because they're supposed to do it and they don't. Now they feel lazy. That's the most obvious one that guys relate to is approach anxiety with attractive women. And it can either be you feel like crap because you failed to approach her, or you feel like crap because you approached her and she rejected you. Your brain knows there's potential for pain there. It gives you anxiety, and what happens? You don't do it. So this path of productive failure, I can tell you all day long that this is a proper path to take, and it is. Because this is what the ultra wealthy do. They take action. They take frickin' action, and then they learn. They learn, they succeed or fail, they learn, and each time they up level, they get better, 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 better. That's how it is in life. Anything you do in life, the more you do it, the better you get at it until you develop enough skill to get the success you want. But there's always failures in between. It's just like learning a new musical instrument. You're practicing, you suck at first. You start learning jujitsu, some martial art, you're brand new in the gym, you never worked out before, you're a beginner. You suck at first. But you keep going, you keep lifting weights, you get stronger. You keep going to the jiu-jitsu gym, you get better. That's how it is with every aspect of life. That's what she's saying. But our feeling of, for those who struggle with wanting to stay safe, procrastinating, not doing what they want, not taking the risks that will lead to the success, they have this feeling inside, if I mess this up or if I don't do what I should, something along those lines, I'm going to feel like crap. That pain gives you anxiety, gives you the fear, keeps you stuck. We change that subconsciously so that deep down, not just consciously, you can consciously say, hey, this is the way to do it. And you know what? That helps. But for those of us who have real, bad subconscious programs in us, these bad beliefs, just thinking happy thoughts doesn't change it. I've seen this hundreds of times. I've experienced it on my own. I had manic depression. I had massive fear of failure because if I fail or make a mistake, I felt like a loser. So we go into your subconscious in hypnosis. We change what you feel and believe deep down. We put those good beliefs in. I told you earlier, the good beliefs, hey, the more I do anything, the better I get. Failure does not affect my value. Failure is just practicing, learning, and growing. If we put that deep down in your core, guess what? Those are not painful beliefs. They don't have pain attached to them. If there's no pain or very little pain to trying something or failing, guess what? The anxiety, the resistance is gone or very low and manageable. Now you have the power to move forward. Furthermore, we get you so you believe in your ability of value that, hey, man, if I keep trying, it's only a matter of time before I have massive success. That's true. It's only a matter of time. We get that in you. Now you're following this path and you can have the success. I mean, if you set your sights high enough and work hard enough, you can have the success that these ultra high net worth people have if you want. Not everyone wants to work 80, 100 hours a week, 70 hours a week for years on end. to do that. These people do, and good for them. You know, for me, 50 hours a week, hey, I'm good. I'm already successful. I'm not as successful as these people, but already pretty happy. But yeah, I'm on a mission to change the world, so I'm up leveling too. I'm moving forward. So anyways, we'll keep going with this. She has more to say.
CEO and entrepreneur need to level up, you have to try doing something that you've never done before. And you're probably going to look like an idiot. I look like an idiot when I try most things I've never done. It's like, would it be reasonable that I would look like an expert when I've never done something before just because I'm a CEO or an entrepreneur? No, like you're just as new as somebody who's not a CEO or entrepreneur.
See, they're all human. The ultra wealthy, they're human. They're not super people, but they don't have superpowers. They just keep going.
We're trying something, right?
And they improve each time. They're taking action and they don't give up. That's why they're successful. And they set their sights high. You got to set your sights high too, have big plans, if that's what you want. Not everyone needs to be ultra wealthy. I mean, honestly, you know, once you make, in my experience, because I've had this experience, once you make right now about 150,000 a year, I mean, if you have a family, maybe you need 250 or whatever. Once you hit that amount, you can live a very good life. And I've doubled my income from that. At points, I've had years where my income was double of that amount. And I mean, the improvement in the cost of, you know, in this, the happiness by having a higher standard of living after 150, if you go to 250, a million, whatever, yeah, maybe it's 5-10% more. And then you get used to it. You know, honestly, once you're comfortable and you have some luxury items and you can go on vacation to Europe, you can eat at a prime steakhouse, you know, you got your friends, you got a good life. I mean, making $1 million a year is not a big jump in quality of life from 150, 250 a year. It's not that big of a jump. It's really not. It's like, okay, you have a private jet. Well, you know, okay, so you fly around 5 times a year, and now instead of 5 times at an airport, you got a private jet. Like, how much does that really improve your standard of life? I can still go to Europe. You know, okay, it's not as nice a ride as a private jet. How long are you on that jet anyway? So that's what I'm talking about, you know. So you don't have to be like these people, but if you want to, you know, these people actually enjoy learning and growing, building stuff. That's the real payoff for them. It's not the standard of living. I mean, for some it is, but really for the entrepreneurs that are very successful. By the way, my last day job, most of my clients were millionaires, multimillionaires. I had a few 100 million net worth clients. I had many 20, 30 million net worth clients, 10 million net worth. So I know what I'm talking about because I worked with these people for 20 years before, 19 and a half years before I phased out my last day job. I set up trusts and companies for them. So I understand, you know, working with these people. They want to build, they want to learn and grow. This is their thing. This is their jam. It's at some point, it kind of becomes a little bit like a video game, especially when you don't have any internal trauma that's causing anxiety and stuff. It's just a matter of, hey, man, let's see how much ass we can kick. And that's where the payoff is for these people. But over having a proper relationship with failure and having a deep down belief that serves you in relation to trying and failing and keep going, it's massive. It makes a huge, massive difference. And this is probably the number one belief system besides just straight up self-belief in your value and ability. So maybe number 2. It's linked anyways. Number 1, number 2 belief system you need to move ahead and be successful is this right here. That's why I'm doing this on only the 3rd episode. I teach this to my clients all the time. So let's go just a little bit further and oops. And I just, well, you know, it's live. Okay, here we go.
Right? It doesn't mean anything. And so this is what I realized that I was doing. And because of this, I wanted to quit everything. And so what I've realized is that if you feel desperate for a change and you feel like you don't have time, what I realized for myself was that it wasn't time that was the issue. It wasn't I need more project management tools. It wasn't that I needed to delegate more. It wasn't any of that, right? Is that I needed to shift from productively procrastinating to productively failing. And so if you feel burnt out, I really would challenge you to audit your time, audit how many big decisions.
Okay, so that's good. And that's huge. She knows it's huge. That's why she's doing the video. So let's switch gears now. And I'm going to play a clip of one of my clients, one of my many clients. Now, most of my clients don't want to do interviews that are going to be put on YouTube. They like to keep stuff private. You know, a lot of times we're dealing with personal, private stuff. But there are some of them who are so, you know, I ask them to be interviewed. They're okay with it. They had a big change. They're feeling good. Honestly, what you're going to see here is pretty typical for a session. I'm not saying I can help everyone. There's maybe 5% I can't help, but this is pretty typical. I see this all the time, and this is why I do long, involved, deep sessions, because I want to get results like this. So this guy, Eri Jorgo, he had a lot of issues with, you know, criticism would get to him, and it would push his buttons and trigger some subconscious stuff in him. So we just barely finished an interview, and after we finished this finished a session. After we finished this hypnosis session, I interviewed him about how he feels. There's stuff he struggled with before. How does he feel now? Just did the session. And like I said earlier, I was in contact with him year and a half later, still felt the same way. So let me bring this up. Eri Jorgo, this is right after his hypnosis session. I think it's about 15 minutes. We'll just play it to the end, and then I'll sign off. But this is really cool. I think you guys are going to like this. If you guys want to see if my methods work or not, then, hey, I got client interviews on my main videos, and I got many more coming. So stay tuned in. I'm just going to put more and more testimonials up. I have written testimonials, audio only. I have about 8 video testimonials. I got 2 or 3 people I could interview on video, and they can share their experience. So those are going to be rolled out on Intermasculine Live and otherwise to show that, man, this stuff really works. It's really powerful. I don't make any claims or guarantees for anyone, but they'll share their experience. And this is pretty typical results here for this guy, which is really great results. Okay, so just barely finished the session.
If you want me to delete this after, that's totally cool.
He gives his permission.
But let's talk first.
Delete what after?
I'm just recording this post session. Is that okay?
Oh, of course, yeah.
Okay. So, did that surprise you? You said you were very skeptical at first. How do you feel now?
I just feel so great. Like
Nice.
I don't know what's the way to describe it. Like,
Did I make you a believer?
Look, man, genuine emotion right there.
You still a skeptic?
He was struggling before. That's why he came to me.
I just feel like so much more like stronger, like from like for here.
That's what I do. I put deep inner strength, inner belief in you and your ability and value, and that, hey, if others reject you, it doesn't affect your value. It means they can't see it. Put all sorts of stuff like that in you. This is the result.
Inside.
Take that into the ring, buddy. Take that.
This he's either amateur turning pro or pro boxer. That's what we're talking about.
Into the ring. Now you're feeling like a champion. You get that mindset, and your abilities are going to grow. You're going to become a terrifying motherfucker. Awesome, bro. So, before we were talking and I asked you, you know, these feelings of anxiety, nervousness, not feeling good enough, and you were pretty easily able to feel in your chest, back of your neck, the tension, right?
Yeah.
Try and feel that now. Feeling not good enough.
These negative feelings he was feeling, they're actually tied to subconscious programs. They're like the second half. The first half is a belief, subconscious belief. Second half is an emotion tied to that. And emotions can help us or hurt us massively. I don't care what anyone says. Yeah, you can suspend your emotions temporarily, but if you have negative emotions constantly pulling you down, you can only fight them so long. And that's why bad subconscious programs that are always there eventually will do you in or keep you from succeeding, because yeah, temporarily you can overcome it, but what if it's a constant drain on you? So we got to fix that, and we did.
Maybe think about that time on Instagram, that girl like insulted you and it gave you a scale of 1 to 10, it gave you a 10, just froze you up. with the intensity of it. Just think of some sort of memory that really would, you know, raise that tension in you, and tell me if you can feel anything.
It's sort of just brushing off me now.
Nice. So is it like a...
I did that in hypnosis. I had him imagine this shield and said all this criticism just going to bounce off the shield. He literally feels that way now. And that's a permanent benefit. Super cool.
one, or is it not even there, or what's going on?
Well, sort of like I just feel something like just bouncing off me.
Bouncing off that fucking force field, homie.
Yep. That's how it works. It's freaking cool as shit. And it's permanent. You can do things to sabotage it and undo it. That's why, you know, especially when it's a new program, that's why I train people on proper self-talk. Forgive yourself. Don't criticize yourself. But otherwise, it's permanent 99% of the time. Here we go.
Yeah?
Wow.
That's in your subconscious.
Look at that. Look at the happiness and shock in his face. So cool. This is a payoff for me. Huge payoff when I see this stuff. It's awesome.
Now, that's what you believe now at your core. Do you understand?
Okay.
You're not sure? You don't believe it? What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, because I was thinking about all those experiences, like from the past.
Yeah.
And the way I felt before about them, I don't feel that way anymore. Like those feelings just don't come.
That's how it's meant to be.
That's what happens when you change your core. You deep down, you now believe a better belief. The old stuff's gone, the new beliefs are in, and you feel differently and believe differently deep down. It makes a world of difference. If you don't have that, do you want that? Hey, let's work on it if you do.
Yeah. So here's the thing. I'm going to give you a Dropbox link to these audios. And there's one audio called Masculine Power Daily Meditation. It's 20 minutes. And there's another one that's like there's two others. They're like miniature versions of what we just did. One's 23 and the other's like 46. If you can listen to that, like one of those, if you can do it every day, dude, you're going to be fucking kicking ass, like feeling uber confident. But even if you do it like 2 or 3 times a week or even once a week, it's going to build. It's going to have a cumulative beneficial effect. You're going to be more and more confident, feeling better. And it's just going to build, man. Permanently.
So I give my clients, to build on what we do with this session, I give them self-hypnosis audios to further reinforce this, build on it. I teach them how to do self-hypnosis. Not all the time, but a lot of the time they can clear out additional bad programs on their own. I teach them how to do that with self-talk, with other coaching tools, so that it's not just a one-time deal, but they can actually build upon what I do in the session. Some stuff people get stuck on, they can't figure out on their own. They come back for additional sessions. But we're talking about giving me all the tools I can to add to things that I do in the session.
Can you message it to me on Telegram so I
yeah.
can have it?
I'll send it.
I'm just telling him about additional stuff. I give every client does a live session with me.
On Telegram. So scale of 1 to 10, how helpful do you feel this was?
It's just somewhere off the charts, like 2,000.
That's why I do this. See, when I found this, I cured my manic depression, and I'm like, how can I not do this for others, dude? It makes such a huge difference. So it's up to you. If I put an audio only on my website, just of this kind of as a testimonial, like wouldn't see your face, but just an audio, would you be okay with that? You can say no, it's up to you.
No, absolutely. I'm fine.
Okay, I do appreciate that, because I really
And he was actually cool with video too. So
think that this is like so massively powerful. I need to like get this to the world and like make it mainstream. Because dude, there are people,
I'm on a mission, baby, right there.
like you, who struggle with shit, and they'll go to a therapist for like a year and it'll get like 20% of what we just did after a year. We do like 5 times as much in one session. I'm not kidding.
Yeah, I
So,
mean, you can put the audio or you can even put my face. I don't care because
I appreciate it, dude. You listen to these audios, man, and let me tell you, just even once, twice, 3 times a week, you know, the 23-minute version if you want. But dude, you're gonna be, I'm not saying you're gonna be perfect, but you're gonna be so much fucking better on a permanent basis. Yeah. So I'm, you know, I'm super happy for you, super proud of you, happy for you. Because you know what? You had the doubt, but you did this anyways. You were willing to.
He had doubt. He had fear of failure. That's part of what he had. Guess what? Got it out of him.
Take this step. So congratulate yourself for that. And here's another thing, bro. Yeah, congratulate yourself. You did it. There's a lot of people wouldn't even fucking do this. They just go home, play video games, and masturbate, view porn. But you're like, you know what? I'm gonna give this a shot.
I
So,
mean, I love myself.
yeah, here's another thing.
Whatever it takes.
If you make mistakes, don't criticize yourself at all. Be your own champion, meaning, and this is really important, because if you are beating yourself up all the time, then eventually you're going to start feeling shitty again.
Conscious behaviors matter too. So we talk about conscious behaviors, mental models, mindset, as well as subconscious. We do it all. Make it a cohesive system to drive you to the success and happiness you want, to build on the beliefs that we put in your subconscious. We do it all. Self-talk, very important.
So, anytime you complete any task, even like just like, I don't know, you go out and you run a few miles, congratulate yourself, because our brain is designed to want to do things that bring pleasure and to avoid things that are painful. So if you do stuff and then you put yourself down, your brain is going to make you not want to do it. But if you praise yourself, your brain's going to make you want to do it more. So did you ever hear Arnold Schwarzenegger? He was being interviewed about how much he liked to work out. Do you know what he said?
Yeah, you had mentioned that in the video I had watched before this session, where he said lifting weights felt better than orgasm during sex.
Yeah. So
that's from the video, the documentary Pumping Iron. He later admitted he was exaggerating that, but he does have that feeling. It's just, he gets the pump, you get the high from working out. He did get that, but yeah, he was exaggerating somewhat on Pumping Iron just to make it more titillating, more exciting. But at some level, he does feel that way, Arnold, for sure.
When you're practicing with, even if you already like to practice boxing, but maybe there's parts you don't like, maybe you don't like to run or whatever, you can just tell yourself before you do it, I love it, I love it, I love it, I can't wait to do this. And you're going to be training your brain to actually want to do that, at least want to do it more. And then once you do it,
look, I'm giving you guys nuggets of wisdom right here. Do this for yourself. It helps. It's not the only thing we do. You got to fix your subconscious. What I'm telling him right now, mindset, self-talk stuff, it's not sufficient by itself. You got to fix your subconscious, but it helps. So everything I'm saying here for him to do, you guys do it. It helps. It works. I used to be gamma male, you know, way lower income, way less success than I have now. I had to go through all of that trauma I had from my childhood, overcome it. I'm aware of how this works intimately because I use it. I went from a very low place to just really doing great now. This stuff works.
But praise yourself, give yourself a compliment and saying, I'm doing what champions do. I am putting in the work. I am a badass motherfucker. You praise yourself, man. And then you're just going to be more motivated to work harder and harder. And you're going to be winning some fucking fights, bro. This stuff will make a huge difference in your boxing performance, in life in general. So I think you're going to take off, man. I really do. Because you really did pick this stuff up quick. So you picked it up super quick. So do you have any questions for me? I'm going to just send on Telegram. I'll send you a link to my Dropbox. So you just put in an internet browser and then you can download the audios. There's 4 audios and then there's some instructions you can read. So just download it. If you have any questions, shoot me a message. And then are you on, do you have any questions about any of that or anything else?
for what you just did so far, I mean, I'm sort of just like in awe right now. I just want
One session did that.
to like go outside, like just go do stuff.
Nice, man. It is my honor, my pleasure to help you, sir. It really is. I already have a day job. I do this for fulfillment. You know, I like making money at it too.
I quit that day job. It was paying me almost $200,000 a year. Quit it, doing this full time now because I believe in this.
But you know, I do it mostly for fulfillment. You know, if possible, well, I do think eventually I'm just going to switch to this full time. My day job pays really well, and it's a great job. But you know, this is where it's at. So
Yeah, this is in my archives. I think about 2 or 3 years ago.
awesome, bro. I'm so glad it worked so well for you. Let's see. Are you on Facebook? I can give you an invite to my private men's group. So if you ever have a question, you post it on the group. The only people who can read it are men only who've had.
Are you on as William Fowler or Ryan?
I'm just gonna skip ahead through this.
Fowler?
Ryan.
On.
Okay, cool. Right on, dude. All right, let me invite you to the. Oh yeah, cool. You just messaged me. Thanks. Let me invite you. If you have any questions, post on the group or shoot me a message. Meaning you peel back one layer and you'll. We're kind of like, as people, we're kind of like onions, meaning you peel back one layer and you'll notice another smaller layer underneath. So it may be in a week or a month or whatever, you may notice, hey, I have this other thing I'm struggling with. It's not as intense as what Ryan or what you cleared. I mean, I showed you how to clear it, but you did the work. So you may notice other issues crop up that are not quite as bad, that the stronger issues we're hiding. You can use these audios. You connect to the emotion in you. You go into the session, you ramp up that negative emotion, send it away, put the good shit in, and you can clear just all sorts of stuff. This really is like.
And that's true. I've had clients clear 15, 20 bad subconscious programs all on their own with the self-hypnosis I gave them after one session. Some don't, but some do. They clear several on their own.
You know, almost like
I cleared 95% of my bad programs with self-hypnosis. So you need to know how to do it. I show people how to do it in the session. It's very powerful, in addition to doing a one-on-one session and getting you just a big kickstart.
Superpower ability to get all this bad crap out of you. So if that happens, or you know, post on Intermasculine, ask us about it. We'll put you in the right spot. You can always do another session, but you know, I'm like booked out to like August 18th now. But you know, you can book a session, but the audios will do. You probably won't even need another session with me. You can do the audios and just ask me questions, and we'll walk you through it. But if you need one, it's, you know, we can do that too. But man, I think you're on your way, bro.
I mean, Ryan, I'll just be honest. I like the way I feel right now. Like I've never felt this way in my whole life.
How awesome is that?
If I'm just being,
he's not the only guy who's told me that.
Perfectly honest.
Or woman. I do sessions for women on occasion too. I'll do sessions for anyone. Men and women are different. I specialize in helping men, but you know, it's my plan to help everyone really eventually.
You're just waiting. You're just waiting for this moment. And now you're just going to go forward and kick some major ass.
I just can't even like describe it. I just want to like just go outside right now and just start like doing stuff.
Awesome. Awesome, bro. So can you drop me a note in a week and tell me how your week's been a week from now?
Of course.
I would very much appreciate that. I'm proud. I'm happy for you. And I'm proud that you took a chance on this. And that's the thing, is you may take a chance on 100 things and 99 don't work, but then the one works like this, and it's all fucking worth it. So
that's why you keep moving forward even when you fail, until you get that one success. Thomas Edison failed 1,000 times inventing the light bulb. The one success, now he goes down in history. That's why the super successful people are super successful. You don't see all their hundreds of failures. You see their one big success. But when they make that success, it makes a huge difference. Now, I will say one other thing. A lot of people, not everyone, but a lot of people kind of have a high for a few days or a week, 2 weeks, etc. after I do a session. the changes I make internally are permanent, generally speaking. You can get a high for like, a few days or a week, and then it kind of goes down to a lower level, but it's still there. That belief system that we put in your subconscious is still there. So he is feeling a little bit of this high right now. Well, he's definitely feeling it. But, he messaged me like a year and a half later. He's like, I still have that golden shield in me and still having those benefits. That's how it is.
So just keep that spirit of being willing to try stuff out to get better. And that's a real big key to being successful. Just being open to trying shit out. Study it. If it seems like it's a scam or whatever, don't do it. But if it seems like it might be legit, don't be afraid to like try shit out.
Of course.
Awesome, bro. Anything else you have?
Thank you so much, Ryan. Thank you.
You're welcome, man. Dude, honor, pleasure. Made my night that this worked this good for you. Absolutely. Fantastic, bro. Proud of you that you were the one who made the choice to do this, even though you're skeptical. So let me know how you do.
He was skeptical at first. Doesn't matter. Just do it.
Doing it a week. And if you have anything else, I'm happy to answer. If not, I'll sign off. It's up to you.
Yeah, no, thank you. I guess I'll just see you in the webinar tomorrow.
Hell yeah. And I'm giving a presentation on Thursday night too.
Okay, so that's it for now. That's the video. And boom, back to me. So that's our show for today. Overcome that fear of failure. I mean, failing is just learning and growing. The most successful people on the planet fail, but they keep going. They learn each time. That's what they're focused on. And that's what they feel in their subconscious. Hey, I failed, but you know what? I'm learning. I'm winning in the long run. Others are laughing at me. That doesn't mean I don't have value. It means they cannot see my value. That's why they're laughing at me, because they can't see my value. They can't see that because I keep plowing through failure, because I learn from it, because I'm focused on the learning and benefit. I'm not worried about feeling like a loser. That's not in my subconscious. That's why they keep going, and they eventually have massive success. There's 2 9-figure net worth people telling you that. And I tell you, there's more. I got other examples of 9-figure net worth people essentially saying the same thing. Get this in your core, overcome your fear of failure, overcome all that anxiety, all that stuff. And now you learn each time, you keep going, you aim high, you persist until you get there, and then you get big success. So that's our show for today. You have more power than you know, guys. You really do. And I'm going to sign off. Inner Masculine Live. Thanks for watching.